This week on Nadia's Kitchen Creations, I'm going to be making sweet potato pie. To make it a little easier, you can purchase a pre-made crust, or if you want to be a little adventurous, you can go ahead and make your pastry at home, and you'll just need enough for one single crust. My pie crusts, as you see, are rarely perfect, but that's okay as long as the taste and texture is how I like it, which luckily turns out well. And as you can see, my pie crusts are not perfect, so don't be afraid to do a little patchwork. It never hurt anyone. Just keep patching until you get the results you want. You can go ahead and keep your edges straight, just trim them with a pair of scissors or a sharp knife. Or if you want to get a little fancy like I did, you can go ahead and pinch the edges. I just use the tips of my fingers, nice and simple. And when that's done, I went and used a fork to prick the crust all over the bottom, and this will just help to prevent any bubbling or lifting of the pie crust, which is going to bake in a preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 minutes. When that is finished in the oven, just cool that on a wire baking rack. If you have any leftover pastry and you want to get a little fancy, you can go ahead and make some leaves to decorate the top of your pie, and that's completely optional. As you can see, you do not need any special fancy cutters. You can just do it freeform with a sharp knife, and you can go ahead and make as many leaves as you want for your design. And when those are ready, I just placed mine on a piece of parchment and left them in the fridge until I was ready to place them on top of my sweet potato pie. You will need 1.5 cups of cooked and then mashed sweet potato. You can do this by hand or place it in a food processor from this point on. For the full and printable recipe, make sure to go to nadiadonella.com, and I'll leave links in the description below. You'll also need 1 cup of whipping cream in the liquid form, 2 large eggs at room temperature, 1 cup of brown sugar not packed, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/8 teaspoon of allspice, 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of ginger, 1/8 teaspoon of clove, and 1 teaspoon, if you can get it, of fresh orange zest. Add all your spices and sugar to your mashed sweet potato and mix that well. Then you're going to add your whipping cream and then start adding your egg one at a time, mixing well after each egg addition. You're then going to pour your sweet potato mixture or custard into the cooled and pre-baked pie crust. If you did use leaf cutouts, you'll want to lightly place them on top of your pie crust just before they go into the oven. And this will bake for 45 minutes at 340 degrees Fahrenheit. Baking times will vary according to your own oven. You want the finished pie to have a little bit of jiggle, but not be runny or breaking apart when you give it a little wiggle. When your pie is ready, cool on a wire rack until it's at room temperature. And this unfortunately is not a cook and eat right away recipe because it is a custard based filling. You'll need to let the pie set in the refrigerator for at least 8 hours or overnight. You can go ahead and serve that by itself or with a dollop or 2 of whipped cream. Please don't forget to subscribe to Nadia's Kitchen Creations, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and share it with your friends and family. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.